No discernible side effects, just crazy freaking results.
We are 2 weeks into our experiment with Redefining. Let's talk about what's happened so far.
Do you want to start, ladies first?
I have not noticed any significant differences as far as side effects. Like I told you the other day, I thought it was affecting my sleep, and then I found out I was accidentally taking some pain meds that had 130 milligrams of caffeine in them. No other issues at all. I had one thing that happened last night where I got dizzy a few times, but I don't know if it's related to the Retatrutide or if it was just kind of a one-off thing. So I'm going to keep an eye on that because it's very weird. It felt like when you've had too much to drink, not that I ever have, but when you have too much to drink and you lay down and the room's kind of spinning. But it was only for a few seconds and then it went away. But It was enough to kind of freak me out a little bit. But that has been the only thing for me so far that has been a negative. And as far as the scale weight goes, of course, you've got water weight, all of that you lose right at the beginning. But 2 weeks, it's 11 pounds as of this morning.
Even when I've done like 2 week, 3 week, challenges, fat loss challenges with clients, and even going as hardcore strict with nutrition, you struggle to see those kind of results. Do you feel like, we chatted about this before, like you don't have to think about it too much to eat less. You don't need a meal plan. You can literally eat what you've been eating before. And I know we're trying to optimize ours a little bit, and that's something we wanted to talk about, wasn't it? But that's the incredible thing. It just naturally forces you to eat less.
It does. And so I ended up having a breakfast burrito this morning. So I got some protein there. I had some leftover chicken at lunch. So I got a little more protein, but these portions are like, pretty tiny, but I'm trying to always have some protein just because otherwise there's no way I'm even going to get close to getting enough.
Jesus Christ.
Am I that interested?
Yeah, so it's been 2 weeks and I've seen the same, no discernible side effects, just crazy freaking results. It's kind of insane how this is working. And I'm down over 10. It has stalled the past couple of days, but I had some takeout food. I had, salty food. And what was crazy though is, a meal I would normally eat in one sitting, I was just quite comfortable putting it in half and having it for lunch the next day. And that's a great side effect or a great benefit is my food bill is less than half what it was, a few weeks ago. But there's no change in energy. I've had some sleep issues just with some personal challenges.
All evidence to the contrary.
Yeah,
Yawns.
with the yawn. Hey, it is almost 5 o'clock.
You yawned before.
But it is 5 o'clock at night, and you know me, I'm up at 4 most days.
Yeah.
But no, the energy levels are the same. The workouts are the same, which it's just what's crazy, you're waking up, hopping on the scale, and there's half a pound of fat loss or weight loss most days. Mm-hmm. And even though we've had a little plateau right now, today I weighed myself just before we did this course. I've drank water, I've eaten, and it's right where it was a couple of days ago. So now I know pretty much in the morning I'm going to wake up and be a pound or so lighter. Now I've cleaned up my eating and the takeout food's gone and the salt is gone and the noodles in the Thai food have gone. So keeping it clean, it's just going to happen. And we know why it's going to happen because we're in a pretty significant caloric deficit. which I think if we were eating this low on a normal meal plan, we would be struggling.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing. The appetite shift. You just don't need to eat that much to feel pretty good. I'm feeling full on less than half of what I was eating per meal. Even as a trainer, and I know my body, and I've been in this game for 20 odd years, I've never seen nothing like it. And we said why we started this experiment too. We wanted to see how it affected us in real life so that we can, share our experiences with clients that are, or the general public that are interested in trying a GLP or a Retatrutide. But I wanted to see what it could do for me as well. And it's crazy how you're just not craving food. You're just not interested in sweets and snacks, and the ice cream, the pizzas. Aside from that, everything is ticking along nicely. I'm actually looking forward to hopping on the scale in the morning. And I don't think many people can say that.
So we've aligned where we both had a ton of loss right at the beginning. At the week and a half mark, we were both right around 10 pounds lost, give or take. And then over the last 3 or 4 days, it's just been maybe one more pound. So, because for me, like, same thing, takeout over the weekend, we were eating out and just quality of food was not as good. And so in the initial water weight is all gone now, but my jeans are slipping on real smooth now and it's pretty nice.
Oh, exactly. Shorts that were really tight a couple of weeks ago now just slipping on so nice. People in the family or that have seen me on a day-to-day basis, they're starting to see the difference, which is, really cool and a nice little, benefit again from that. So it's just so goddamn exciting. I can't
Yeah.
believe, we've had the odd comment, is that all you're eating? But most of the time you can slide it in because like yesterday I ate like a burger, but I had no chips, I had no potato salad. There were cookies lying around. So nobody notices if you're not eating all the sides and that. And I think that's an important thing too in normal life, whether you're on a GLP-1 or not. It's not necessarily the meal. You're like, oh, we're going out for a burger. It's not the burger. It's the Coke. It's the fries. It's all the stuff on the side that just adds up into all those unwanted, unneeded calories that
Yeah.
are probably the tripping point or the sticking point for most of us.
Yes.
So you can go out, be social. No one's really going to call you out or it's not going to create an incident when you put half your meal, in a to-go box.
That's shifted enough over the past several years where a lot of people do that from the get-go. Like they'll just automatically split their meal in half.
Because you're just not interesting. The food noise has just gone down to like a 1 out of 10. You're like, I must remember to eat. And, being coaches, like we're so into finding that caloric deficit, tracking calories or macros or however, whatever system works best for our clients to achieve that caloric deficit.
Yeah.
We'd put some protocols in place before we started this of we're going to try and hit our protein goal. We're going to try and hit this caloric goal just that we're fueling ourselves. And for me personally, I just found I'm overeating even trying to get those numbers. Trying to force protein down or protein shakes to hit even 100 grams of protein was just felt so uncomfortable. And I just felt so full up. So the lesson I've learned over the weekend is just listen to my body. My body knows what it needs. And my energy levels are the same. So it's like, you know what? If I'm not hungry, I'm not going to eat. And if I do notice some significant side effects to the negative, then we'll change things up. But right now, I'm just going to go the, organic way where I'm just going to listen to my body. It's smarter than me. It doesn't know, these numbers that we generate, even unless you're doing a gas exchange to find your resting metabolic rate, it's all guessing,
Right.
And that's that whole BMI thing that we talked about the other day, the BS of that, going through these websites that calculate whether you're overweight or obese
Mm-hmm.
by dividing your height by your weight. It's absolutely ridiculous, or your weight by your height. It doesn't take into account any lean muscle mass or anything. So we're giving out these numbers, or we're getting these numbers of to achieve a caloric deficit, and it's kind of, it doesn't compute into how I'm living day to day. So I'm going to eat when I'm hungry, and I'm going to eat what I want to eat. Well, I'm still trying to eat clean. What I mean is, if I'm not hungry, I'm not going to eat, or I'm going to have a tiny portion,
Yeah.
which I think works really, really well.
It's working. I honestly could probably go with not eating at all, but I just don't want to do that.
Right.
But I have enough body fat that my body is burning that. I feel great. I don't feel edgy. I don't feel like, even if it's suppressing the hunger, there's other things that I'd be irritable. I'd be like low energy, these other things, and none of that's happening. And so,
You say you're not irritable?
no, but also I'm on Prozac too. So that's what I've got those other medications for.
Mm,
But I
mm.
would at least be like on edge or something, and I haven't had any of that. So I don't know, but so far so good. But
Yeah.
the
Well,
dizziness thing freaks me out just a tiny, tiny bit, just enough to kind of raise my alert a little bit. So I was telling my husband about it this morning because I was telling him, I was like, I'm not gonna try to hide any side effects or anything like that from you. I'd rather you just know. So I told him about it this morning, told you and Catherine about it this morning. And so, but like, I don't know, unless it has built up in my system over the past 2 weeks and it's just now causing, but we're 2 weeks into it. I didn't even take, like, I'm due for another dose today and I haven't even taken it yet. So it's not like it was like, refreshed in my
yeah.
system. So I don't think it's probably that, but if it's not, then I don't know what it was. So I don't know.
Well, hopefully it was just a blip, or maybe completely unrelated, but certainly something to pay attention to.
Yeah.
And that's, again, it's listen to our bodies, isn't it? If anything's coming up where you're not feeling great on this, then give it a break.
Mm-hmm.
And that also comes to, what we've talked about, minimal effective dose.
Right.
If again, we have a calendar when we're injecting, but if you're still feeling good and your appetite is suppressed and you still are seeing results, then maybe there's no need. Maybe your dosage once a week, as opposed to every 3 or 4 days, is going to work perfect. Because
Yeah.
I think the rule on anything is the least amount you can do to get the maximum result.
Minimum effective dose. And we talk about it in all areas.
Exactly. It's the same with workouts, the same with anything. It's
Yep.
what's the least you have to do to get the result that you're looking for. So
Exactly.
I think right now it's probably the craziest thing I've done and the most exciting, because it's coming so fast, and we're all looking for the easy button or the simple button. And this is it. And if science and chemistry and biology are going to work together and help us, then I don't think that's a bad thing. And
Are
we
you
like,
still skeptical or are you
oh,
bought in?
no, I'm in. Like, I'm in
Really?
on all these peptides.
I'm just like, this is may end up being the thing later that I don't remember what there was some drugs where it ended up causing like all sorts of birth defects and stuff, which is one of the
Oh,
reasons I'm like,
thalidomide?
I, yeah, is that what
Yeah,
it was?
yeah.
And so that's where my brain goes. But I'm like, I'm done having babies anyway. That ship has sailed. So whatever. I don't know. I'm still a little skeptical because usually everything that seems too good to be true is, but there are some things that seem great and really are great. So
Well, right now it's a really positive thing. I
yeah.
think we're both seeing incredible results. We're smart enough to take care of our own health.
Yep.
and we're pretty finely tuned that if anything negative was coming through, we would stop, because again, neither
Right.
of us are that vain. We don't, we're
I
not
might be that vain.
that image conscious to be like sacrifice. I won't say long-term health, but sacrifice our health and happiness.
Yeah.
Just to get shredded. But
Well, and
now
like
this thing's.
you were saying I watched that James Smith video that you were telling me about the other day, where he talks about it's way easier to stay lean than it is to get lean.
I think, and we're doing it for 6 weeks. Like, again, it's not like you should be on this for maybe months and months, or maybe you should look at microdosing it. Are you going to keep going if you pass the 6 weeks?
I don't know. I'll have to see where I'm at when we get there. I would say as of right now, because I know all the right things to do and it's easy for me to do all the right things, for the most part, I have no doubts that I'll be able to maintain it. But I don't know. The trainer in me wants to get off of it and then finish out without anything in my extra in my system. And then the other part of me is like, why? Like so I have to consider what message I'm sending with one choice versus the other, because I mean, my clients all know we're both pretty much open books on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to have to kind of gauge what's the right choice for me, what's the right choice for my business and what I represent. But I've done it before without anything. So it's not like I don't know I can, because I've had 3 babies and I've gotten in competition physique shape after each one and looked great and felt great with nothing, like not even really any supplements or anything. And so I've proven over and over and over again that I can do it without. So at this point, even if I stopped this, I'm still on HRT. I'm still probably going to be adding in testosterone soon. So I'm still going to be chemically enhanced regardless. So then I'm like, you know what? Maybe I just send the message that use the tools you've got and don't worry about what anyone has to say about it. So I don't know. I'm torn. That's a really long way to say I don't know.
You bring up a good point. We are open books about what we're doing to ourselves. But I think there's I think we maybe mentioned it before, like a social stigma, say, of using a GLP-1 or anything. And I think like now there's a lot of pushback on Instagram and TikTok, whatever, Facebook, of like these influencers, because having a 6-pack or being at, 5% body fat is something that's pretty rare. And so there's a lot of influencers pushing their image that they are elite, or, this is something that only a very small percentage get to.
Right.
So even as a trainer, we're like, oh my gosh, if all our clients go on GLP-1, they won't need us. Well, the bigger issue is, mass obesity and population being overweight. So if you've got these, influencers knocking GLP-1 and you should have to suffer and go through the work, well, what happens when everybody's lean and in shape? The country, the population as a whole.
I welcome that problem.
Yeah, it'd be a great problem.
If I lose all my clients because they are all muscular and healthy and happy, cool. I'll figure something else out.
Exactly. Well, we'll be retired then.
Yes, true.
But so I guess I'm saying, like, why are we making it so hard for people to get in shape then? Why are we painting that picture that, only 0.1% of men over 50 have got a 6-pack? Well, what if that becomes 10%, 20%? And let's be freaking honest too. Most guys over 40 don't give a shit about a 6-pack. We don't need to, have our whole identity on our abs. We've got bigger things to do. We got families. We got businesses. We got businesses and lives that we're focused on living. And I think for most of us, if we can just put on some fun clothes that fit, that are tailored, and we look good in there, and more importantly, we have the energy to go and do the cool shit that we want to do and take care of our family and run a business. That's what most guys want. They just want to feel strong, look strong, be strong, and go live a fun life. as opposed to defining your whole identity on whether you have a six-pack or not.
Right.
Anyway, that's my long answer to, hey, let's keep this going. That brings me, it brings me on just a bit more detail about that nonsense, of the BMI scale. When I put my numbers in and was told I could be on it for a year and get down to 145, that's 30 pounds. I ain't got 30 pounds to lose, so.
You sounded like Eliza Doolittle.
I ain't got 60 pounds.
I ain't got 30 pounds to lose. We're just over 2 weeks in. What's like one or two biggest lessons you've kind of noticed so far in this experiment?
The coolest thing for me has been the absence of the food noise. I feel like I have been way more productive. And we hired someone to come clean our house last week. And so the house is clean and I'm not thinking about food. And so between those two things, I just feel like there's so much space up here, maybe because my brain is so small. But I feel like I have been able to focus so much easier. I just walk through here. I don't feel like it's just a bunch of chores outside of my office. And I'm not just thinking about what can I eat next, or what's for dinner, or what should I go get. So for me, I just have peace in my brain.
Fantastic. It's the same as that food noise, not only on the volume of food, the amount that we're eating, but like I used to be like creating meals and have to have variety. And now I'm like not really bothered what I eat. Yes, it's healthy. Yes, I cook nice meals, but I don't mind having the same lunch, the same dinner over and over. It's not like, oh my God, I've got to have variety. Oh, I need Thai food tonight. I need Italian tomorrow. It's like, I'm just okay eating what I'm eating and keeping it simple.
I always see old people eating like one small burger, like at the fast food place. They'll have like one tiny burger and like a little thing of ice cream. And so I feel like I'm already like channeling my inner old lady, because I'm just like these little tiny portions. Like I did that the other day. I got a little burger and a little thing of frozen yogurt at lunch, and I ate half of both of them and I was stuffed. It's so weird.
Well, this has been a fun experiment so far. I'm super jazzed, over 10 pounds down right now. Body is leaning out. It does. Another crazy thing, it makes your muscles look big because there's less fat.
Yep. How many more pounds can you lose before you start feeling?
When I get about another 3.5, and then I'm in the 150s, which I haven't been for. Well, then I got to be a little bit
like a real trainer. You're so.
If I get to 155, then call it. That would 3.5 will get me below 160. If we get to 155, I have to have.
You have to stop.
Not necessarily stop, but I got to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
If I'm just leaning out, keep leaning out.
Yeah.
I'll keep it.